I wanted to come on here and talk about this story right here involving this young lady by the name of Darnella Frazier and her uncle. And I'm guessing that's her uncle right there in the picture next to her. So if you don't know who she is the teenager that recorded the the world gone well the most one of the most viral videos in the world. And that was the moment that George Floyd was being murdered by that terrorist Derek Chauvin. And the guy that's in the picture next to her is her uncle. And basically what has happened is now her is a lot of some things have come full circle. So you gotta think this young lady literally witnessed one black man be murdered by a terrorist. Come back over a year later, she finds out that her uncle was murdered by another terrorist in the same department, the same Minneapolis police. And a lot of people are speculating that they feel like this is payback for two things. One, that Derek Chauvin was actually convicted of something and is going to jail for a significant amount of years. And because she was the one that actually was a huge help in that happening. So they feel like it could be a retaliation thing. Of course, you're going to have Palm Color come out and say that it's, because of what the uncle did. But no, there's no coincidence that this happened. And I wouldn't be surprised if they are trying to slowly go after her. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from USA Today. Darnella Frazier, the teenage bystander who filmed the murder of George Floyd, has experienced enough trauma to last a lifetime. Yes, she's grieving the loss of another black man at the hands of the Minneapolis police. This time, the victim is not a stranger, not a man she happened to stumble upon as he was pinned under the knee of a Minneapolis terrorist. A chance encounter that thrust her into an international spotlight because she was brave enough to pull out her phone and record what she did. A 17-year-old knew was wrong. This time, the victim is her uncle. Lionel Lamont Frazier, age 40, died Tuesday after his vehicle was struck by a squad car as police chased a robbery suspect, according to Minneapolis police spokesman John Elder. Police spotted a driver in a vehicle believed to have been stolen during a carjacking and linked to multiple robberies. The driver fled as officers attempted to make a traffic stop. As an officer pursued the suspect, he collided with Frazier's vehicle. Minneapolis police killed my uncle. My uncle, another black man, lost his life in the hands of the police, Darnella Frazier wrote on Facebook. The circumstances are different, but the fact doesn't lessen Frazier's pain. Derek Chauvin intentionally kneeled on the neck of Floyd for more than 9 minutes, literally crushing the life out of him. I'm certain the officer involved in this chase didn't set out to kill Frazier, but only time will tell whether a high-speed chase through a residential neighborhood was justified. Minneapolis police has cost my whole family a big loss, she wrote. You took an innocent life trying to catch someone else. More than 5, and I wondered, did they even catch the person they were going after? Or was this high-speed chase, and I'm putting on my tinfoil cap, or was this high-speed chase a setup to make it seem like it was a high-speed chase, but it was meant for him? But they could have been coming after her, but he just happened to be the casualty. More than 5,000 bystanders and passengers were killed and tens of thousands were injured in police car chases since 1979, a 2015 USA Today analysis found. Black people, both innocent bystanders and those fleeing police, have been killed in police chases at a rate nearly 3 times higher than anybody else. Listen to that. Innocent bystanders and those fleeing have the highest number of those casualties. Law enforcement observers have long considered police pursuits one of the most dangerous kinds of police activity because at the potential of it for endangering the public at large. Many departments, including Minneapolis police, follow policies that force officers to end police pursuits if they pose an unreasonable risk to the officers, the public, or passengers of the vehicles being pursued who might be unwilling participants. In typical social media bullying fashion, Darnella Frazier has been criticized for what she wrote about her uncle and police being at fault. She has been accused of race baiting. She's been called out for not blaming the person the police were pursuing. Frazier, who offered prosecutors an undeniable piece of evidence by filming Floyd's death, tearfully testified during Chauvin's trial how she has been tortured by what she has witnessed. I've been staying up nights apologizing to George Floyd for not doing more and not physically interacting and not saving his life. Yet during her time of pain that is an extension of the trauma that began for her on May 25th, 2020, When George Floyd was killed, she has to fend off detractors. It's just shameful. Accident or not, he's gone, Darnella Frazier wrote Wednesday on a new Facebook post. Everyone made it out alive but my uncle. It hurts different because he had nothing to do with this. He was on his way home. It's always so painful when an innocent bystander is injured in a police pursuit, and it always seems like the alleged criminal who is being pursued walks away without a scratch. That's if they even are being apprehended. Even they are thinking the same thing I am. What if this thing was a setup to make it seem like they were going after somebody, but they really weren't? Darnella Frazier is beyond strong. She has already shown us that, but she's also young and has witnessed and experienced the unimaginable. Let's show her some grace as she grapples with the death of her loved one. Yeah, a lot of red flags is raising for me as far as this is concerned. Like, they're gonna be taunting her. If I was her, I would see if my family could find a way to make me move out of that city, because that's a hot spot for her. And like I said, this for me is no coincidence. None. And even the article backed up the statement I said. What if the person they were chasing wasn't even a real criminal? What if that was a whole setup? And if they were a real criminal, did they even catch the person? Because I don't see anywhere in this article stating that they apprehended the person that they were allegedly going after. Because if they caught them, they would have put it in the article that they caught the person, or that the person was still at large. They didn't even say that. So what were they chasing? A phantom? A ghost? That's just like the whole thing with Chicago and all these so-called a mass amount of shootings that happened in Chicago. You have all these people that got shot over 4th of July weekend allegedly, and you can't find one person who did it. The only time I believe a shooting actually happens in Chicago is when they actually put a picture up of the victim and they find the suspect. And a lot of times they don't do either of those things. But yeah, something about this whole situation just seems real sketchy to me. However, I do offer my condolences to this girl. She's probably 18 now, probably, because she was 17 at the time. So she's most likely 18 now. But yeah, and to her family and everything like that. I mean, just think, she had to witness in front of her face a black man being killed by these terrorists, and then she had to find out that another black man was killed by these terrorists, and this time the black man that was killed was her uncle, a relative, someone she was most likely very close to, because they were pursuing who knows, because like I said, they don't specify who they were going after, why they were going after them. I'm sorry, they said that this person, it was a string of robberies or something like that. And even that's kind of sketchy for me too. Like, is that even really the case? I question everything. You always have to question everything. I don't care how people may think you may sound by it, but it is what it is. Question everything when it comes to these terrorists.